Hi guys and welcome back to our channel, where we recap and explain your favorite movies for you. We all believe witches to exist. Most of us imagine them to be gruesome, but what if someday you get to know your beloved mother is the embodiment of your worst fears? To get you a taste of this, we are here to recap Hellblender, a renowned movie released back in August 2021. With its original exercise with folktales, believe us when we say you are not ready to believe what you see. So without any further ado, let's begin. Bodies and bones bathed in red blood were laying on the ground of a deserted forest. A creature looking like an elderly woman with white hair, deadly blue eyes, and a mouth covered with blood can be seen feeding on them in the first scene of the movie. The next morning, a group of people was gathered in the same forest, including children and women of different age groups, to witness the death of a man who was hanged by a tree and strangled to death by two elderly women and a young girl. Extreme hatred and fear can be seen on the faces of the audience. He struggled for a few minutes at first but then went silent. It was not long before he woke up again and tries to free himself. A weird kind of voice can be heard from the man as someone cries and shouts at the same time with their mouth covered. When an aged woman steps in from the crowd and shot him in the head, which seems 1,000,000 times. He was still breathing. Another of them tries to stab him with a knife when suddenly the lower part of his body starts to burn, and he went into the air just like a rocket. The scene shifts and we can see a young girl, Izzy, and wild-aged woman practicing the song on guitar and drums. The eye makeup of both was quite noticeable. The woman drew a black cross on her both eyes, whereas Izzy was having black lines right underneath her eyes. The practice ends and the scene shifts to Izzy's room where she can be seen admiring her eye makeup. When her mother asks if she needs anything from the market, Izzy asks her to bring a black coal pencil and drumsticks. The next morning, the scene takes us to a green mountain valley. Izzy went swimming in the lake in the middle of the forest while her mother drove to the city. She was sitting on the rock on the edge of the lake when she heard a laugh coming from the forest and thus decided to follow. This forest is the one we saw in the first scene, but calmer this time. On the other hand, Izzy's mother shop at a home decor shop and chooses one of the most unique pieces, a handcrafted crown made of wood and painted black. While she pays the bill, an old man says he knows her as she was the nurse of his grandmother and did not change a bit since that day. This made her nervous and she left quickly. After she came back, she finds Izzy sitting on the doorstep, waiting patiently for her return. Izzy told her mother about the voice from the forest, but she failed to find anything. This piece of information worried her mother, and she visits the forest where she practices witchcraft by making a symbol using wood and her hair, covering it with blood and some small wild fruits. The sky above her started to clear when she held that symbol in the air and mumbled something. Not only she performed witchcraft but also collected dinner from the forest, which we can see Izzy and her mother eating in the next scene. The next morning, when Izzy left, her mother again performed a spell by making the same symbol from her blood and their dinner from the last night to track Izzy in the forest. While Izzy encounters a man who got lost while hiking. When the man tries to come near Izzy to show her the odd thing he found in the forest, the same symbol her mother drew, she stopped him. Before Izzy could say anything, her mother took her. Not even the moment after, Izzy's mother came back and guides the man into the middle of the forest where she first held him in the air, drank a drop of his blood, and burned him down. After she came home, Izzy asks her if she's going to be okay, and her mother assures her that she will be okay and went to sleep in the middle of the day. As soon as Izzy finds the coast clear, she went to the forest again, where she was able to find the house and a girl of her age, Amber, about whom the man told her. Izzy stays for a drink, but when Amber told her to sit, she says she could not get close to people. The scene shifts to Izzy's mother, and we can see her opening a door using the symbol and key that came out of that symbol when she put her hand on it to a secret room. That room had some old stuff, pictures, and books. She put her hand on an ancient book and saw a vision of Izzy and her future. While the girls spent some together and Amber invited Izzy to a party before leaving. After coming back home, while Izzy and her mother play some music, she asks if they could play for the people and if she could have friends. Her mother turns her down, saying that she could not be around people ever. The next day, Izzy joins Amber and her friends at the party where she plays and sings for them as always wanted. Things start to take a different turn when during a game Izzy was forced to eat a live worm. At first, it did not react, but then something changed inside Izzy, and she screamed. After she went silent and still, her face becomes stoned. Before she could react more, they had to run as the owner of the property came. Izzy and Amber end up together in the forest where we can see that Izzy's view is also affected as she saw everything titled and moving. She smelled and heard Amber's blood running in her veins, which triggered Izzy to choke on her. but she was lucky to escape Izzy's attack. All this time, we hear different whispering and mumbling sounds in the background. Izzy went back to the house to collect her clothes and was condemned by the owner of the house but did not respond to him. The worm was still hunting her. When Izzy came back home, she told her mother that she ate a live worm, and in the response to that her mother told her the truth for the first time. She is not sick, she is dangerous. After this, she condemned her mother for killing Amber's uncle and avoided her for the rest of the day. In the middle of the night, the voices woke Izzy up and took her to that secret room. She was shocked by the key and the room as she never knew that they were there. She put her hand on the book and her hand got melted into the book and she saw a vision of horrifying creatures. Izzy was shocked and afraid to her core as she jumps off her place. The next morning, Izzy and her mother were in the forest where her mother told her that their magical powers came from the fear in the blood of the creatures they feed on, but it was just a dream. The scene shifts and we can Izzy eating a raspberry shoot, but to her, it was a human finger with blood on it. Her mother pulls her out imagination. After which they went for a hike where Izzy's mother told and shows her how to obtain and do some basic magic. Time passes and Izzy learns how to do magic starting by learning how to make that symbol, but at the same time, she creates some trouble by sneaking out of the house at the night. When her mother found out, she tries to see the vision using the book, and she saw both turning into ashes. This worried her and she talks to Izzy about her activities nowadays. Is she still friends with Amber? The scene shifts and we can Izzy with the book again after her mother leaves for the town. This time she sees a clearer vision, everything burning behind someone in a white mask. The symbol, a man walking in the sea. Even the second time, the vision shocked Izzy, after which she did a spell to track Amber. The next scene shows Izzy and her mother in the forest where they found bones, which was odd to Izzy's mother. Izzy's mother heard their history as how their ancestors were feared, and they used to feed on that fear, that's why they are called Hellbenders. After this, she teaches Izzy some magic and told her that they did not need them anymore as they are evolving. That's when a police officer came investigating Amber's uncle. The season changes and it's winter now. Izzy's mother tried to track someone again and again but fails where everyone. As time passes, Izzy's food is also updated. She does not eat plants anymore but worms. But Izzy still misses Amber as she stares at her hairpin. We can see a bond developing between Izzy and her mother as they spend time together doing some fun through and talking about life. Izzy's mother told her that she is 147 old, and her grandmother was a monster as she ate half of the village including the children. After Izzy's mother fell asleep, she went to the town to meet Amber. She tries to give Amber her bikini and hairpins back but did not take them and was not interested in talking to Izzy. The next morning, Izzy's mother could not find her anywhere and the book in her room. When Izzy's mother put her hand on the book, the vision showed her feeding on the owner of the pool house and Amber. Izzy also recites a poem for her mother.
There was a wolf who longed to be a sheep, so she cut her claws and cracked her teeth. And when she bore a cub, she raised it as a lamb. She cut its claws and cracked its teeth. She buried deep the wolf beneath. But when the lamb grew, so did her claws, so did her teeth. And the wolf ate her mother who was just a sheep.
This terrifies her and she went in the search of Izzy. She found her underground with Amber. Izzy was feeding on Amber though she was not dead yet. Seeing all this, Izzy's mother get terrified, refusing to believe what is in front of her. Gathering up the courage, Izzy's mother tries to save her, but Izzy stops her saying she knows all her secrets and truths. Izzy forces her mother to bring her and let the Hellbender out. She also told her she knows how a Hellbender dies, but Izzy did not kill her mother. Izzy asks her mother by telling her she is going to town and inquires her does she need anything. She left her in the basement terrified as she walks away. The movie end here. This was all from our end. Hope you enjoyed till the very end. Do let us know in the comments below about your belief in witchcrafts. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss any update from us.